Takehara Strand, chair of Oahu Democrats, with Representative Lisa Marten, who is running for the House of Representatives from District 51. Aloha, Lisa.
Aloha. So nice to be here with you.
And tell us about where you were born and your childhood ohana.
Well, I actually was born abroad, and I spent my first 10 and a half years. I lived in Canada and Kenya and Mexico. With my family. I have two sisters and my parents. We traveled for my father's work. He's an ecologist, and he was doing field research in all these places. So we didn't live in the capital cities. We lived in small towns. In Kenya, I actually lived where Obama's father is from. And so that was my ohana, but we were from the US, so we would come back every summer and spend time. And then I moved to Kailua when I was 11. It was the first time I lived in the United States, and it's been my home ever since.
Great. And your adult life, ohana, in Kailua?
Yeah, so I raised my two boys. I have two sons who are now college age. Raised them in Kailua. My parents are here as well, as is my sister and her family. And, all my childhood friends. So it's I so appreciated growing up here in this, to be honest, paradise. And I wanted my kids to have that experience too. And I'm so glad I did, because they have, they are now so as attached to this place as I am.
Please tell us about someone who's your personal hero, who inspires you to move forward every day.
Well, I have so many heroes. I couldn't possibly list them all. But I would say the inspiration to move forward every day comes from my children and all of their friends and all the other, young people that I am close to, which at my age is a lot of them. And they're the ones that motivate me, because I really want to leave this world, a better place. I know that sounds cliche, but that is my goal, right? I want a healthier earth. I don't want them to be saddled with climate change with no path forward for solutions. I don't want them to be in a society that is unjust and prejudiced and doesn't provide opportunities for everybody. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of inspiration. I feel responsible. I had children. It's my job to make sure they live in a world that is okay.
And what have been some defining moments or events in your life that help shape you as a Democrat?
Well, I don't think I had an option to be anything but a Democrat. My parents, they were at UC Berkeley in the 60s. And my father was doing his doctorate, as he's an ecologist. My mother actually dropped out of school to work full time to help women who at that time under Governor Reagan, women on welfare were being raided at midnight. And if there was a man in the house, they were being denied any welfare benefits. So she was not a lawyer, but she was representing them in court, and was so passionate that her waters actually broke to have my sister while she was in court. So anyways, in a household like that is very concerned about people and poor people and the earth, there was probably never any other possibility.
What does serving the people mean to you, and how does that connect to your belief that you're the right Democrat for the job, again, as representative for District 51?
Well, I think that I was exposed to such abject poverty when I was a little girl. And I was aware that I didn't share that poverty, right? Even though we didn't, live in big fancy towns, we were in kind of rural areas. I was not, subject to what I saw around me, which was pretty harsh in those developing countries. And so I've always felt that I had a responsibility to help. And I, had opportunities to have an education. I got to go to Harvard and Columbia. And, I had all these opportunities. So I felt like it was always my job to give back. And I've worked in Guatemala. I ran a child nutrition program there. I worked in Singapore for Planned Parenthood, running a sexuality education program, because they didn't have sex education in schools there provided by the government. I worked at the University of Hawai'i Medical School doing HIV/AIDS research for many years. And then more recently, I've run a nonprofit focused on climate change that does education in Dewey schools, field trips. We have a community forestry site. I do curriculum and teacher training for, science curriculum that includes climate change. So for me, this job is just another way to serve. And I feel like I'm the right person because I am part of the community. I can't go anywhere without seeing people I know and people I care about. And so I feel like it's very easy for me to serve my own community that, to be honest, I was already serving even before I was elected. I was very involved in local issues and testifying and working on things before I was elected. So now I'm just wearing another hat and I have a vote instead of trying to influence the votes of others.
Mm-hmm. Our time is up, but can you tell us how volunteers can reach you if they would like to volunteer for your campaign?
Thank you. They can reach me at lisamarten.com. That's LISAMARTEN. And I would love help. I was hoping I would not have an opponent, but over the last 2 days, I've had 2 Republicans sign up, draw papers. So I guess I wasn't that lucky. I was hoping to just do my job, but instead I am campaigning. So I would love help.
Mahalo and good luck.
Thank you.